Okay, so one thing I will note is that this command here that I've used, git hish, is not a standard git command. So I will have this posted, and I'd highly recommend doing this. Is kind of like how you can set up a bash profile to have different commands set as shortcuts or aliases. We can do the same thing in Git. So where that takes place is in our Git config file, and in a Unix system that will be found in our home directory. That might be slightly different on Windows, but I would assume it's pretty similar. And so what we have here are these two commands here, which I'd highly recommend adding. So what this does is it takes our log and it basically puts it into a more condensed format so that we can see only the commit, basically only the commit messages and essential information in a very compact place. So if we were to run our git log, we see a lot of information here, which is definitely valuable. But if we wanted to do a quick overview of some recent changes, the difference is quite important here. So these help illustrate better the individual commits through time um, in a very linear fashion. So the essential parts are we have our hash code here, which is basically the marker for this point in time on a commit. And when we go over different types of resets, a hard reset and a soft reset, we will see the value of this hash code. In addition, we can look at the date and see when these changes were merged in. And with our formatting, we'll see which task this is related to so that we can look it up in Jira. And then, of course, we have our commit message, which gives us a very clear picture of what the change was that that feature branch addressed. And then this right here will be a unique identifier for our repository's pull or merge requests. And then, of course, we have the author of these changes so that if there's an issue perhaps with this task, we can go find this individual or check back into the history and see what changes that individual made and perhaps ask them if they happen to be a subject matter expert in that part of the code base. And finally here, what this shortcut does with the git config file is it helps us see which branch is pointing to which part of our commit history. So we can see here that we're on our master branch and it's the head. So this is the tippy top, the very latest and greatest that our master has. So it's the most up to date. And we can also see that our origin server is up to date with this as well. So these are in line. And then also locally, our origin this is the head. So anything we do, this is the most recent. And basically the cloned branch structure in our Git repository on our local machine is up to date with everything that has been changed on the server.